Hello, my name is Robert Hollis. I want to thank you very much for getting on this Periscope. I used to be a mechanic and went out there, was working hard, got hurt. And when I got hurt, I ended up on workman's comp. Over a period of 9 months, lost everything. And this is actually going to be part of my story in this topic. And you know what? I ran into a mentor. I met this mentor, started doing what he told me. He shared with me some philosophies, some concepts, some teaching, some wisdom. And now been able to help over 46 people now make over $1 million in a year. In fact, the newest one now just went over $10 million that he made in 1 year. So very blessed to have students like that. And so you can check me out on lifemechanic.com. That's where I post the replays for my Periscopes. So make sure to, scroll up, scroll sideways, share with everyone, your followers, your Twitter followers, your followers. Facebook followers, and type, okay? So one of the things that we're going to be talking about right now is an incredible thing called, the title is, People Are Saying What? Now, one of the things I want each and every one of you to understand is that there's groups out there, there's 4 groups I always talk about, and one of the really incredible groups is, when people get in is, of course, we got winners. And as winners, you know what I mean? You got other people. I got to tell Matt to stop doing that. Hang on. There we go. So he's doing notifications, and I'm getting blasted here. Okay, so I apologize. So anyway, one of the things that you'll find out about a lot of successful people, is they had learning disabilities. I'm dyslexic. They had all kinds of things that they had to deal with when they were young. And a lot of people were bullying them. So I started out by saying, as you're talking to new people, and you're talking to new people, they're going to fall into sorting, and I cover this in other videos, is, you got your winners, you're looking for your winners. But then you got people that are just comfortable. They're just comfortable. They're not interested in doing anything. They got that comfort zone down. Then you got your know-it-alls. You know what I mean? It's impossible to mentor someone or teach somebody something new if they already know everything. Now, I laugh with these people because you usually can look at their lifestyle, their happiness in every area of their life, and they're not doing as well as they think they're doing. But they're professional liars of themselves, to themselves. The one that I'm talking about today is the last one, which is called the people pleasers. And the people pleasers very simply are doing this. They really, listen to me closely. They really cannot stop. They could if they made a decision and they practice. But they struggle. Let's put it that way. They currently struggle with what they believe other people are thinking about them. Or what will people say? Or what if people ask me questions? What do they think? What are they going to say? What are they going to, oh my God. What if people talk to the other people? What are they going to say about me? What are they going to say about what I'm doing? And it's like, this is one of the saddest things I've ever seen. And I'm going to help you deal with that. Okay, you ready? Yeah, Carrie, thank you. We've all been there. And one of the things that you find out about super successful people is they went through something tragic in their lives, including something that they got bullied on. See what I mean? And it became a thing in their life that if they consistently listened to what other people said about them, what they heard other people said about them, what they thought people said about them, if they continued to do that, they wouldn't be who they are today. It finally came to a point where, like my video on my blog, lifemechanic.com /blog, enough, disgusted, enough is enough, is they finally get to a point where they don't care. They don't care. They don't think. What people think is like, what a waste of time. What a waste of time. And they start just not caring. They don't give it a millisecond of thought. Now, let me give you really quickly my quick story for some of you that know it. I always love talking on these Periscopes and just telling you my heart. But, I came right away. I'm dyslexic. I'm just growing up, just got into first grade. This was before they had kindergarten. Then I heard right away. It was like they were showing me flashcards. You know what I mean? And they would hold up a T and say, what's this sound? What's this letter? It's a T. What's the sound? T. And then they would show the TH sound, T and H together. And I would go, you guys remember that, right? And then they would show the word thumb. Thumb. And I would turn around and say, tum. And they go, there's something wrong with him. And I went through, get this, I went through speech classes. I got into a special class. See, now, today I know I'm special. Today, I don't want to be like anybody else. I already know that if I was like everybody else, 98% of the people on the planet, if you did it a whole planet-wise, 99% of the people on the planet are unhappy, miserable, don't have great relationships, are struggling with finances, don't believe in themselves. Why would I want to be like anybody else? I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be unique. God created me unique. I want to be unique. I don't want to be like anybody. Now get this. I don't even want to be like anybody that's better than me, that's more successful than me. I want to be me. I'm special. I just want to be me. And I want you to learn to be you. Okay? And so right away I was hearing these things, well, we're going to have to put him in a special class and he's got a learning disability. They didn't even know that I was dyslexic. They didn't even know how to diagnose it then. And get this, I didn't learn. I went to trade school. In 2 years in trade school, I got on the dean's list. How? I don't care what you guys think when I tell you this, is I was a cheater. I was a solution finder. And so they said that I had to go out there and get these, automotive service excellent. I had to get all these charts and stuff. So I went to a trade school and I found people, listen to me, I found people that were valedictorians in English and in their schools, but they didn't have common sense. They didn't have the ability to work with their hands. And so when I started building stuff, I had a couple of people that said, wow, you're good at that. Wow, you're good at fixing things. And so I said, forget the book smarts. I'm going to focus on the common sense stuff. And that's how I became good at being a mechanic, right? So you can't listen to what other people say if it's good stuff, if it's encouraging stuff, if it's stuff that's lifting you up. You want to surround yourself by those people all the time, right? And so all of a sudden, as I'm going up, I would find these people and I'd say, well, listen, I'll help you with the mechanical stuff if you want to take my English course. And they would go in and challenge my English course and all the ones that were requirements, 101. It's like, hey, we got to learn how to communicate. Well, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Communication's done. So you just become resourceful, right? But the point I want to bring up is if you read my book, How Is That Working? I actually got myself in a position where, I grew up in foster homes. Things were written about my mom and dad because my dad beat my mom up and that was in the paper. And we lived in our house got condemned. You know what I mean? From the city, and we had to move into assisted housing. This all happened before, I got taken away from my mom because she wouldn't protect me, and I don't have a father. So I'm not saying this, and listen to me, and thanks for the hearts. Listen to me. That was all a blessing. It made me who I am today. And so right away, every time I was around a group of kids, I was the one they were talking about. Hey, that's one of those foster kids. That's one of those foster kids. Why? There's only two of us and a whole Indian reservation. There's that foster kid. He doesn't have a dad. He doesn't have a dad. You know what I mean? And he's special. He's special. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen close to me. I had to learn at a very, very young age that what people said about me and what they were saying behind my back and what they were saying to each other when I could hear them in the distance. Thank God, and I mean this, thank God I didn't grow up in an age with social media. You know what I mean? So I could run around and check what these people are saying. But the most successful people that I know, ladies and gentlemen, are people that are focused on a goal. They go out there and help people, and they don't care what people think. If you are an individual, listen to me closely, please. If you're an individual that hasn't read, the book, The World's Greatest Miracle, and you don't start feeling good in your skin, and you don't feel like the greatest miracle in the world, and you don't fall in love with yourself, and you don't find a way not to give a rip or a millisecond of thought about what other people are thinking about you, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. Because it's one of those things that are just going to hold you back because you won't do nothing. A fear of, I wonder what they're going to think about me. And what if so-and-so talks to so-and-so? And then what if it gets back to my parents? And what if it gets back to the kids that I went to school with? And it's like people actually get this. They get involved in being an entrepreneur. They get involved in building a loyal, satisfied customer base. And guess what? This is the truth. I tell them all the time, my son's got a really good one that he uses too. And I said, if I went to your family reunion, if I went to your class reunion, if I went to around all your friends, and I said, so what do you think about Flora's business? What business? What? See, if well, what do you think about Flora building what do you think about Shirley building her empire? What empire? What empire? What are you talking about? See, a lot of you guys are basically secret agents. It's like your family, your friends, the people that are closest to you, the people that are all around you. They don't know what you're doing. And you know why? Because you're worried about what they think. Who cares what they think? So now I'm going to share with you a couple of unique things that I love saying. First of all, you wouldn't be worried about what people thought about you if you knew how seldom they did. If you never heard this statement, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. And I don't care what you think. Listen. People are too busy with all the distractions, good and bad in their life. They're not thinking about you. Now, how crazy as that is, where you're not fulfilling your dreams, you're not living the life that you're supposed to live, you're not giving to charity, you're not going out there and giving things to the people that you love, you're not spending time with people that you love, doing the things that you've always wanted to do, you're not traveling the world, you're not living life to the best it can be, because you're thinking about what other people are thinking about you, and they're not. They're not. There's not a whole group of people sitting around going, I wonder what Flora's doing. Do you know what Flora's doing? Have you heard what Flora's doing? What? Did you, listen. Do you know what Flora's doing? They don't have the time. They're too busy being wrapped up in their own craziness. They're all trying to figure it out themselves. We didn't get an owner's manual. We didn't get an owner manual when we were born. We didn't get an owner's manual when we got married. We didn't get an owner's manual when we, got into having children. We didn't get an owner's manual when we wanted to figure out how to be an entrepreneur. We didn't get an owner's manual when we got to learn all this personal development stuff. You know, people said this straight out that, you know, becoming an entrepreneur is personal development with a compensation plan. This is stuff you got to go through. And don't you guys, and see, I'm not preaching for this guy, but I'm going to go on a little tangent, and I hope you guys can appreciate this. Don't you guys find it refreshing? See, there's probably, again, 30-30-30 rule, if you've heard me talk about that. 30% don't have a clue what's going on. 30% are with you. 30% are against everything you do. It's just a 30-30-30 rule, as always. And why? What's the other 9%? I don't know. They're clueless, all right? So... or 10%. There you go. But the point being is, listen to this, because it's really amazing. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, don't you find it amazing that this guy will say anything about anybody? He will say anything about anybody. And what do everybody do? Everybody, all the media is going, well, you know what you said about the Hispanics? You need to apologize for that. I'm not gonna. Do you know what you had said about those women? I don't care. Do you know what you said about this? I don't care. Are you going to apologize for this? No, I'm not. Did you hear what other people are talking about? I don't care. Did you see that they posted on, I think it was like, the New Yorker or whatever, when he first said he was going, and they go, look at Donald the Clown. And on the front cover of this New Yorker magazine, he lives in New York, and it's Donald Trump with a red nose and his face painted white. What a clown. And he's like, hey, I don't care. What an example. Whether you like this guy or not, man, he says what he says it because he thought it, he's not apologetic, he's just wham, I am who I am. And I don't know if you guys seen the interview with him and his children, but guess what? That Barbara Walters talks to his children, right? And he says to his children, listen, when your dad says those things, and you just screech while he's on stage, or he's in an interview, what do you think? And do you know all of his kids at exactly the same time went, that's the way he always is. He's not any different on stage or any different in an interview than he is ever since we were a child and grew up around him. My dad says what's on his mind and his heart. He's unapologetic. He knows already that a lot of people don't agree with him, and he doesn't care. When would you like to be in a position where you have an opinion, and your opinion is who you are? You say what you mean, and you don't care what other people say. Another statement, again, the one that I love is you wouldn't worry and care what people thought about you if you knew how seldom they did. All right? Here's another one. You guys got to write these down, man, and say them all the time. What people say about you is none of your business. What people say about you is none of your business. What people think about you is none of your business. What a concept. Now, one of the things I want to drive this point home is, I don't know if you know who Jimmy Kimmel is, but you got to go on YouTube and hopefully you can find it. And it's called Mean Tweets. People being mean like bullies. Go into YouTube and put in Mean Tweets. When you guys see what people on the internet say about celebrities, movie stars, singers, authors, producers, Jimmy Kimmel gets these people to go on his show and read the mean tweets of what people are saying about him. And get this, pretty close to 50% of the words are bleep words. Can you imagine having the confidence, listen to me closely, having the confidence, loving yourself, not caring about what anybody thinks or writes about you, and standing in front of the room and going, let me read one of my tweets about myself. Robert Hollis, you fat bleep, bleep, bleep. You should find a way to go bury yourself. You're a waste of humanity. Stop ripping people off. And while these people are reading it, they're laughing. They're just like laughing. They're giggling because they're going like, man, I can't imagine being in the frickin' mindset where all day, every day, you're finding things bad to write about people. My sons taught me about this because they spent a lot of time on the internet, and in video games, they call them trolls. Yeah, trolls, like you got to pay a fee to get over the bridge. And these trolls are constantly out there trying to pull you out of your joy. See, I want you to think about, there's this place, your happy place. Your happy place where, think about times where you're just happy. And you got to think about, there's Darth Vaders in the world, and their number one goal is to get you out of your game, to get you out of your presence, to get you out of your joy, to pull you out of the box. That's what their job is to do. And when you fall into it and you allow them to take a millisecond from you, they won, you lost. They won, you lost. Now, to close up this Periscope, is there anybody out there really that believes that everyone loves Robert Hollis? Wouldn't that be awesome? Everyone just loves me. They like what I do. Wow. Next statement. My mentor said, and I know that Bill got this, my mentor got this, is whether they're writing something good or bad about you, you are not doing nothing if people are not saying stuff about you. Are you hearing me? Are you listening to me? So you don't want to get caught up in the good things that people say about you, and you don't want to get caught up in the bad things people say about you. I know it sounds crazy, but we don't have a lot of printed material anymore. But one of my mentors used to say, if people write good stuff about you, you don't want to believe it. And if people write bad things about you, you don't want to believe it. My goal would just not to read it. Who cares? I get people all the time. Hey, do you know what so-and-so said about you? I don't care. What do you mean you don't care? Well, let me tell you. Why do you want to tell me? Why do you want to tell me? Is it going to make you, do you think that I'm going to look at you as a better person or a closer friend if you tell me something negative about somebody else? Is what you're about ready to tell me, is it going to make me feel different about that other person? What's the reason? What's your motive in wanting to tell me this stuff? I'm not going to let you back a garbage truck into my head. And so some of you have heard me say this, so people turn around and say, hey, Robert, did you know was that? And I go, la, 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 la. That's the stuff that I learned when I was a young kid. I can't hear you. I can't hear. Man. Oh, man. You don't know what so-and-so said about you. Do you? Hey, now listen. Good or bad? Good or bad? So I hope this Periscope helped you. People said, what? And some of you got to ask yourself. One of the closing things that I'll say is that the reason that I push so hard is I'll never forget there was this thing that impacted me really, really. Some things impact me. A lot of things impact me. And I remember one time, this motorcycle pulls up and the light just turned green. I mean, I can't believe this guy did this. And this motorcycle pulls up right on the crosswalk right in front of me. And he holds out his hand. You know what I mean? And he was a police officer. And he pulls up there and he just puts his hand out. And I'm going like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden I see two more cops on motorcycles go by, and then a hearse went by. And then a black car went by, and then 2 more motorcycles went by. And then the motorcycle guy looked at me and gave me a thumbs up, and he took off. And I was like, wow. One car following this? One car. To have a funeral, and you can put everybody in one car. Ugh. I don't want to be like that. I want to have a giant party. I want, again, my goal, and I know that it's going to be a hard goal, but my goal is like Jim Rowan had tributes, and thousands of people showed up to tribute him. I think they had one in Dallas and one in LA. My son went to it. I happened to not be in the country. So my son and a bunch of friends went to a tribute to one of my mentors, Jim Rowan, when he died. And all these people got up one after another. From Jim Rowan to Bob Proctor to Les Brown to Zig Ziglar, all saying praises to this guy that impacted their lives and impacted millions of people's lives. I'm sure there's people out there, and you can find it. I tell people to go on Google and put in Mother Teresa scam. Mother Teresa scam. There's people out there, Gandhi scam. There's people out there that their number one job is to say negative stuff about people, to cause some kind of conspiracy, to get you distracted, to get you thinking about a bunch of stuff that you can't do anything about. When it comes down to where the rubber meets the road, the people that love you are the only opinions that matter, the only thoughts that matter. And the people that learn to love you unconditionally are the people that you want to surround yourself by. If people are saying negative stuff about you, you got to cut them off. And I know some of you are going to go, well, I really am going to miss my family and friends. Guess what? I had to go build a family, and you guys are part of that family. I love building. I want more friends. People go, you got too many friends on Facebook. No, I don't. I need more friends. I need friends all over the world. I need to go out and help as many people as I can. I got to make a difference on this planet. So I don't care what people think. I don't care. If they think good things, yeah. But bottom line, this is the whole thing about this Periscope. I want you to seriously think. If what you think all the time, I recently made some huge moves in my career. Huge moves. And I talk to people. And they go, yeah, but what are so-and-so going to think? And I'm going like, holy crap, there's your problem. Well, do you know what so-and-so said? Really? Really? Are they going to be there to pay your bills? Are they going to be there when you're moving? Are they going to be there to carry your casket or your urn? Are they going to show up? Are they going to show up at your party when you're no longer here? Man. So when people go, well, so-and-so said that. Well, I don't care. So you need to work on that. That was the reason for the whole Periscope. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you. You got to stop. If your first thought is, oh my, did you hear what so-and-so said about? And it's like, oh, it bothers you. It hurts you. It really, really hurts you that someone's out there saying something. You know what I mean? Wow. You got to find a way to let that go. You got to forgive them and forget it. When you forgive people, it doesn't condone what they do. It doesn't condone what they do. But it's like, I see someone put on here poison. You know what I mean? When you are holding something against people that have done things wrong to you, what you're doing is you're drinking the poison, hoping that it'll get them. So anyway, people said, what? I don't know. move on, be happy, help as many people as you can. The person that gives most is the people that are going to win. Focus on giving. Don't focus on thinking what other people are thinking. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Share this with other people. I'll be posting it on lifemechanic.com, and just continue to stay on the post, because I got some incredible things that are coming out for each and every one of you. My goal is to outgive every single one of you, and I'm going to do it on a day-to-day basis. So take care. God bless. Bye-bye.